Right, it's Butler time. We've neglected to speak to this much about this much trail story, but here we go. Prince Charles's popularity has plunged in the run-up to the 20th anniversary of Princess Diana's death. It's a new poll by YouGov. It shows only a third of Britons believe the Prince of Wales has been beneficial for the royal family, down from nearly two-thirds 4 years ago. I would have no idea whether he's beneficial or not. I don't follow it closely. And I don't know what would constitute as beneficial. He seems all right to me. I mean, obviously he's an oddball, but why wouldn't he be? Just 14% want to see his wife Camilla as queen when he becomes king. A third say she should have no title at all. We're joined now, as promised, by Grant Harold, who is a former royal butler. Hello, Grant.
Good evening. Good evening, Sam.
Grant, thank you so much for joining me and for being patient.
My pleasure.
While we were speaking about bra checks at Stevenage Borough. Grant, pleasure to have you on the show. What do you make of these findings in this YouGov poll? Do you think they're fair?
Well, do you know, I was shocked when I actually heard about it, because I think for me, the difficult part is I obviously got to know them when working for them, and you see working for them and seeing what they do, you see what an amazing job they do and what a benefit they are to the country. So
what do you mean, though? Because some people think that just from not from seeing what we see. We haven't seen behind the scenes. What more do you see behind the scenes that make you realise that it's an extra special job they're doing?
It's the kind of, as you say, it's behind the scenes. When you see kind of, as they do some documentaries that have been on that have kind of given people a bit of an insight to the things that go on. They obviously travel around the country. They undertake hundreds of duties that we don't really hear about. Some of them we hear about, the high-profile ones. They obviously travel around the world and overseas tours as well. So, I mean, there's all these kind of things. And then there's the really, kind of emotional side, which I find very difficult, which is when they, for example, at Christmas time at Clarence House, the Duchess has children from a relatively local hospice come along, and, you know, she's wonderful with them, and she actually kind of serves them and kind of looks after them for that special occasion. And it's when you see that side of things that we don't really hear about or see, that's the kind of side that I remember. So when you hear about these kind of polls, and I can understand that people that maybe only read the odd thing or hear certain things, they don't realise how amazing they are behind the scenes.
Do you think that Prince Charles suffers from seeming slightly old-fashioned and traditional? And I personally think, well, why wouldn't he? He's been, you know, he's lived in a world that is fairly formal and traditional, and but nowadays in the culture we live in, it's like, because his sons, particularly Harry, for example, is more of a Jack the Lad. And people, there is a demographic who will relate to that more, and they perceive Prince Charles as being old-fashioned, stuffy, perhaps a bit strange. Do you think that's what he suffers from?
I don't think. I think the thing is, I don't think there's ever been kind of. I think everyone kind of knows that he's very, as you said, he's very traditional. I mean, I absolutely adored working for him, because I'm only 39, but I'm a bit kind of old-fashioned. I enjoy nothing better than having a kind of quiet evening.
You're a young fogey, aren't you? Are you wearing tweed right now? Are you wearing tweed as we speak?
I'm worried. I'm on a webcam or something. You've got me worried now.
No, we're not spying on you. I just want you to be honest with us.
No, I assure you, I'm not. I'm not quite that point yet. Give it time, couple of years maybe. But see, so I respected and admired the kind of the gentleman that he is. But you're absolutely right. The younger royals, it is a very different royal family. The younger royal family, because Prince Harry and Prince William, it's kind of their kind of background, the way they're kind of brought up, and also you see how passionate they are with their charities, how hands-on they are, and I mean, there's no doubt that that's what is going to kind of monarchy carry on into the future years, is the fact that they're showing that wonderful side to them, and I think it's like anything, everything has to evolve.
Yeah, interesting stuff. Do you, just quickly, lastly, what Prince Charles, the thing that always sticks out in my mind is that he had a butler. It might have been you, might have been your dad, I don't know. A special butler just to squeeze toothpaste onto his toothbrush. Is that true, yes or no?
No, and can I tell you one thing? Castle would turn in his grave at a butler putting toothpaste in a toothbrush. Could you imagine?
That's what I heard he had doing. So Prince Charles, our future king, is expected to, just like a commoner like me, has to go and get his Colgate tube and painstakingly, and sometimes it's a nightmare because it's almost out, so you got to roll it up from the bottom. Are you telling me that the future King of England has to subject himself to the indignity of squeezing Colgate onto his own brush?
Well, luckily, as I wasn't one of the valets, I then went upstairs, so I'd never actually know. But
So you don't know?
I don't actually know, but unfortunately for me, I haven't got anyone to do that for me either. So I quite like the idea of actually having someone do that for me.
Oh, I would love it done for me. By rights, I should have someone doing it for me.
I'll come and do it. You have to have him.
All steady on. Grant, thank you for being patient, and thank you so much for your company. Cheers.
My pleasure. Thank you for on the show.
Grant Harold is a former royal butler. It's as simple as that.